We've got Conor McGregor making his return. What was your reaction when that was announced?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Big name for our sports, and but he have tough opponents. Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him.
Primeiro você e todo mundo sabe que essa luta foi que era pra mim estar lá, né? E ele preferiu o Max pensando que ele vai bater no Max, né? Porque ele correu de mim, essa é a real.
Chegou a ser oferecido? Chegou a ser conversado sobre isso?
Na realidade, não chegou a ser oferecido, mas todo mundo sabia que quem vencesse entre mim e o Max lutaria com ele, e na realidade ele escolheu o Max porque ele achou que é um caminho mais fácil. Mas vamos lá, vamos falar da luta de Max Holloway e ele. Cara, eu acho que na realidade é uma luta complicada pelo fato de faz muito tempo que ele não vem ao queijo. Tem quantos anos que tá fora, parado?
Acho que 5 anos.
Entendeu? Então, tipo assim, faz muito tempo, faz 5 anos que ele tá parado, que ele não luta. Porém, é o Conor, né? É o Conor. Se você marcar e ele conectar, ele vai te nocautear. Eu acho que primeiro e segundo round tem muito para ele. Depois, ali em diante, com certeza, para mim, o Max tem muito de vencer, de trabalhar, de estar ali, de fazer acontecer.
Lastly, so this is the notorious one versus the blessed one, which is fitting yet ironic because Max has given us one of the most notorious knockouts in UFC history, and you have blessed us with so many moments. So the question that I have for Mystic Mac, as you like to call yourself, how does this one end?
It's going to be a demolition. It's going to be an absolute demolition. I know the damage he's taken. I know I will just have to touch him. And after that, it will be clinical. So to win alone is not just enough. It must be spectacular, and that it will be.
I think if I use sounds, I think fans will understand the different rhythms. But Max Holloway is more like an Uzi, right? When he fights, it's more brr, brr, ba, 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 ba. The consistency, the significant striking numbers he has is out of this world. It's bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. It's always in your face. It's constant movement. It's touch, touch, go, touch, touch, move, move, advance, play. It's constant activity. But he doesn't have that one punch power, that shotgun. That's what Conor has. Conor's always had that shotgun. If that left hand lands, it's game over. And he's laser focused with it. So you've got a person who needs to be on that, and then you've got someone who goes boom, 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 boom. If one of them lands, the fight's over. So I would, if I'm Conor and I walk into that first round and I enter the middle of the octagon and Max hasn't started to instantly kind of put the pace on him, I'd walk his ass down. I'd put his back to the cage. I'd go high, I'd go low, I'd go high, I'd go low. I'd keep him guessing, and I'd put everything straight down the middle. Just boom, boom, and then sneak one around the corner when he doesn't expect it. And hope that that's it. Good night. It's a tough fight for both of them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't wait to see how it plays out. And
when you look at the state of the UFC over the last couple of months.
Conor McGregor is fighting at 170, your weight class, against Max Holloway. Do you think he can beat Max at 170?
No, I think Max gonna win. I'm super fan of Max Holloway, but he fighting more, McGregor is 5 years without fight, so I don't think he's gonna beat Max Holloway.
Even though they're fighting at 170 and Max has never gone there?
No, I don't think so. I think Max gonna win.
Ultimately, I believe, at least in my opinion, Charles Oliveira lost the Conor McGregor fight when he beat Max Holloway in the way that he did, because I'm not sure Conor McGregor was willing to fight against someone that could potentially take him down, control him the entirety of a 25-minute fight. So Max Holloway gets the fight. Many a times I've said Max has lost, Max gained in losing to Do Bronx. Hell, we even talked about what Max told me when he was kind of politicking for the Conor McGregor fight.
McGregor versus Holloway 2. Who's going to win that fight?
Holloway.
Really?
Listen, I've never been a McGregor fan.
Why is that?
Because he's been a prick his whole career.
To you?
To me, to everybody.
You didn't like him? He was
No.
rude to you?
He was rude to me. We almost fought a couple times.
Where
just
at?
in the fights.
What'd you say?
We just ran into each other and he just would run his mouth. I didn't like it because I came from a different place. I came from a place where I had been getting into trouble and I was changing my life. And he was somebody that used the platform to be arrogant and to like piss people off. I'm not here to make friends. But you're also not being very respectful. And I think we're in this place with all the YouTube fighting is all because of that accumulation. Now here we are. The sport is somewhat of a Kardashian sport, you know. We're just wow, which brings numbers, right? But that's not why I got into it. So that's why.
With you. I don't know if Max is going to overlook Conor because Conor McGregor. Yeah, I think it's going to be a better fight than people think. Win, lose, or draw, I think Conor makes himself proud. He knows what's on the line. Because if Conor goes in there and he's a shell or he looks like Nate did on Netflix, the UFC's like, oh, we're out. We're out. No, there's no negotiation. It also hurts his negotiation tactics when he becomes a free agent. So it'd be a nightmare for him, man. So I think he knows, like, this fight is the most important fight in order for his future to get paid. He has, and it doesn't mean, I'm not saying he has to win. He just has to look good, be competitive. So we want to see him fight more. So because the UFC, they're backing up the Brinks truck to get this guy in here for 2 fights. They're not going to continue to do that. Netflix MVP, they'll pay him a big bag, but not as much as if, let's say, he was 2-0 or at least 1-1, you know? So there's a lot on the line for Conor. There's more pressure on Conor by far than Max.
The build-up to Conor McGregor's rematch with Max Holloway is turning into one of the biggest talking points in the sport right now, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Every week that passes, the chatter gets louder, the predictions get bolder, and everyone seems to have a strong take on how this one plays out. You've got one camp of fans who are convinced McGregor still has that same fight-ending power in his hands, the kind of power that's put away some of the toughest names in the division, and they're banking on his self-belief carrying him through. Then there's the other side of the argument, the folks who point to Holloway's engine, his ability to keep a relentless pace for 25 straight minutes, and his years of high-level experience against the best fighters walking around. Both sides make a fair point, and that's exactly what makes this matchup so hard to call. Add in the fact that both men are reportedly grinding through fight camp like their careers depend on it, and you start to realize this isn't just another headline fight. This feels personal. It feels like redemption for one guy and validation for the other, and at the end of the day, nobody's going to know the real answer until the cage door shuts and the first bell rings.
But I think obviously like Conor is kind of like, he just has a good physique in general. There's never a time where you see him without his shirt off and he looks like shit.
Yeah, fair.
You know what I'm saying?
He's jacked. He was jacked for a minute on his Lamborghini boat.
He has a great physique, bro. Like
I saw him set up like a
looks good.
circus tent or something in his front yard.
But
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Do you know where that was at?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like a full-blown circus tent that he just made a pop-up gym. I mean, he's been doing a lot of press. We haven't seen him do this much press in a long time, fight-focused press. He looks very healthy, very clean. I mean, I think this might be a different Conor, though.
Now, here's where things get interesting. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping has been pretty vocal about this fight, and he's made it clear he isn't ready to write Conor McGregor off just yet. Sure, Bisping gives plenty of credit to Holloway's skill set, calling it about as sharp and well-rounded as anything in the featherweight or lightweight scene. But according to Bisping, skill and technique aren't the only things that decide a fight like this. He keeps coming back to one idea, that McGregor's biggest asset isn't his left hand or his footwork, it's what's going on inside his head. Bisping's theory is simple. If McGregor genuinely wants this badly enough, if the hunger that once made him one of the most dangerous men in the sport is still there, then there's a real path back to his best form. And based on the reports coming out of his training camp, the intensity, the focus, the way he's reportedly attacking this preparation, Bisping seems to think that hunger hasn't gone anywhere. He's not saying McGregor wins the fight outright over 25 minutes either. In fact, Bisping leans toward Holloway having the edge if this fight goes long, purely because of his pace and conditioning. But he also believes the opening rounds are where McGregor could make his statement, using that trademark power and precision to change the entire complexion of the fight before it ever gets to the championship rounds.
It's early, though.
Really?
Yeah. Of course. Conor's always been a big hitter.
Conor still has it.
Dude, listen.
Yeah.
Me and Conor aren't exactly friendly.
Why not? You're both from the UK?
No. We know each other for a long time.
Really?
We don't need to get into all that. But what I'm saying is, so I'm not saying this from a perspective of we're friends and we're buddies. He was the 2-weight division champion. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he made all this money and all the rest of it, but the mind's the most powerful tool.
Yeah.
And the guy that was there, all right, granted, it was a long time ago, 2016, but if the motivation's strong enough, he can come back and look really good. And yeah, he was flipping out at Max the other day in that interview.
Did you see that?
But he was playing the game. He was promoting the fight, hyping it up big time. And he looks good.
Yeah.
You know, like he looks like he's training and taking the camp seriously. And if he is doing that, I'm telling you.
But I think
Max is awesome on the feet, but Conor's got the power.
Bisping didn't stop there, though. He went on to point out that the pressure sitting on McGregor's shoulders right now is heavier than people might realize. This is a man who's already checked every box the sport has to offer. Multiple titles, a legacy that's impossible to ignore, and more money than most fighters could dream of earning in a lifetime. So what's left to prove? According to Bisping, plenty. McGregor needs to show, both to the fans and probably to himself, that he can still perform at an elite level after everything he's been through, the long layoffs, the injuries, the setbacks that have piled up over the past few years. And here's the part that really stands out. Bisping doesn't think facing Max Holloway gives McGregor any room to ease into this one slowly. Holloway isn't a fighter who's been sitting on the sidelines. He's active, he's sharp, and he's been tested against the toughest competition the sport has to offer. In Bisping's eyes, that reality alone should be enough to keep McGregor locked in, because there's simply no version of this fight where coasting or underestimating his opponent ends well for him.
There's a lot of pressure because he's got all the money in the world, and congratulations to him for that. And he's got all the accolades. You know, what he did for the sport will never be forgotten or probably repeated. But he's lost his last few. And 5 years ago, he lost and he got knocked out before that. And all three of us know this as fighters. That's what we pride ourselves on. And that's what he prides himself on. And he knows Max Holloway has been fighting the best routinely, staying active. So if you're going to underestimate that guy and come back after 5 years and not train properly, you're a fool.
Yeah.
So now it's your turn to weigh in. When the dust settles at UFC 329, whose hand do you think gets raised? Conor McGregor's or Max Holloway's? Are we about to witness one of the most unlikely comeback stories the sport has ever seen? McGregor rediscovering that old magic and proving the doubters wrong? Or does Holloway walk away reminding everyone exactly why he's still considered one of the best fighters on the planet? Drop your prediction down in the comments. We genuinely want to hear which way you think this one swings. And hey, if this breakdown gave you something to think about or got you even more hyped for fight night, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss anything else we put out covering the world of UFC.